according to some people on the stream, when Ghana loses, it stresses me out. And I, for one, will say I am going to fight for my honor on this. It doesn't stress me out. Okay, go to my Twitter. I say Ghana football is here to humble me, keep me humble, keep remind me that there's still a long pathway, that potato farms can still be played on. That corruption is still everywhere. Ah, let me not go into this just yet. But here to
It
talk.
is recorded, so I
Oh,
think this is the date where everything will actually start. All right, so
listen,
we give you
I
a
am.
pass for now, but the future is there.
The future is there, and the humbling
Yes,
is here for all of us. Listen,
yes.
we're back, guys. 2 days in a row. You don't get it twisted. It's not yesterday's stream. It's today's stream. It's me, and then I guess JD is in Batman vibe with his shadowy toque and just staying there for where he is. So that's fine. But we are here to talk a little bit about AFCON qualifiers that are happening. I know the big story you see in the title is Ghana, the Black Stars falling, Super Eagles gliding. I have to ask you, JD, what does a win feel like? What does that feel like? I haven't experienced that very
Well, majority of my teams have actually won because I have like maybe 20 teams in total. Because I have the girls, the boys, and everything, and I've got no wins. I got to say, I saw Suriname winning, Haiti winning, Jamaica winning, Nigeria winning, boys and girls in Nigeria. Yes, so it's feeling good. I've been watching. I took a- I kept an eye on the Ghana matches, and all of them I thought that they were the favorites in until the football kicked off.
and then passing became a requirement, and then the final third execution became a requirement, and then
I
slipping,
just
trying to
can't
clear the ball.
understand.
I don't. JD, at this point, I'm not even guys. We're talking about AFCON qualifiers. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. I am just in. I there's a point where you watch something and you're just like, you know what? It's gonna happen this way, isn't it? Right? I jokingly say my posts and my videos are ill-timed. I remember right before Angola scored, I said, you know what? So Ghana's gonna win this we're gonna get a 88th minute goal here, aren't we? Then Angola scores. I'm like, I said us, not Angola, but hey, good for them. They played, and also, it's not a shock if your team has lost to Comoros and Madagascar. No offense to those countries, losing to Angola is not a stunning result. Let's be very honest with that with that reality. But here we are here to talk about AFCON qualifiers, which are coming up at the beginning of next year. No, at the beginning of 26. The 25 AFCON will be there. So we'll talk about the results, guys. Let us know in the comments down below which teams are you following that you've been surprised by, any standout players. I know, will cover the Ghanaians and the Nigerians, but we want to talk about some of the other teams as well. So leave a comment down below, either here or a little bit afterwards, in terms of teams that you've liked so far, things that are going through. And to it, we begin, guys. It's been a struggle. Going through some of the results that have been here, guys. It's been interesting to kind of look at through. We had on day one, which is September 4th, you had Sudan beating Niger. This is important to Ghanaians because former national coach is for Ghana is in Sudan and apparently turning the program around. Good for you. We can't score goals, but I digress. Comoros drawing with Gambia. Good result. Rwanda, which is my don't sleep on team for a lot this cycle. A 1-1 draw with Libya, who aren't a bad side. Don't ever overlook them. Ethiopia, Tanzania looking well. Burundi over Malawi 3-2. Guinea-Bissau 1-0 over Eswatini. This result we'll get to. Ghana losing to Angola. Central African Republic 3-1 over Lesotho. Congo 1-0 over South Sudan. Algeria finding some form over Equatorial Guinea. The Equatorial Guinea saga is just fascinating to me. How a player can be given the right to play, then not, and then now. But hey, they're still getting results. Tunisia getting 1-0 over Madagascar, a thorn in Ghana's side, apparently. Zimbabwe and Kenya in a draw. That's a derby of my friends. DR Congo over Guinea. South Africa drawing Uganda. I was actually very happy with how the Cranes played against South Africa there. Togo draw. Liberia's there. Sierra Leone, Chad draw. Senegal, Burkina Faso draw. Egypt over Cape Verde, 3-0. I expected a little bit more out of Cape Verde, but didn't. Mali, Morocco looking like they're back in some form. Ivory Coast continuing on. Mauritania over Botswana. Cameroon over Namibia. And then the Eagles gliding over Benin 3-0. JD, what does it feel like to have a striker who can strike? Tell me more about this feeling. How did that feel?
For me, what it feels to have a striker that can strike. The difference is Nigeria has 50,000 strikers. They only have strikers. To be honest, all right, because Boniface he went back to his club, and all of a sudden he knows how to finish the ball. But once he was at Nigeria, the pressure that was on him, it looks like he couldn't finish the ball. You understand me? Yes. I would say that Lookman looked very sharp. Chukwueze looks equally sharp, and Mr. Man, the superstar, Victor Osimhen, he came on and he looks him old self. So I think maybe little rest that he got over that period of time fighting with Napoli and making a transfer, it actually helps him because sometimes you're carrying some knocks and you need time to figure yourself out. And I want to say that that might be the time that he used, and he looks a little bit sharper.
No,
So
yeah, he
think
definitely does.
having strikers that can finish, believe me, it's a very good thing. But it's very few strikers you have in this world that can finish. To be honest, are top level finishers.
No, that's true. And Nigeria just says, let's play one as an eight because let's play a striker as an eight
Play
because we can do it.
four, play four, and one might score. All right. Yes. Put
We're
four of
putting
them on the field. You will get one a goal at
that
all
is that
times.
to me. That is Nigeria's new slogan: "Play for one might score."
Yeah.
Super Eagles to the world. Okay, and we're not going to do that. But like honestly, I do agree with you. Getting them in, Osimhen getting that time off. I mean, that whole saga with him and his transfer is a fascinating read and a fascinating just to follow the sequence of events. But I hope that eventually he gets the move where he wants. But at this point, he's in Turkey. Go play there, be dominant there, and then get your move moving from there. I like what I saw from Nigeria because again, Nigeria is one of those teams, and I always say this: all the talent in the world, but they, for whatever reason, haven't been able to put it all together. Now we saw them be able to reach an AFCON finals the last cycle, which is good. We saw them reach the edge of World Cup qualifiers, but then weren't able to get past Ghana. I think this team is quality. They have to figure out what they're doing with coach because I mean that was also a story where they have a coach and they don't have a coach and they have another coach and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
the coach says I mean I said in principle but I didn't see the paperwork so pause please. They need to figure that out because once they can figure that out I think it really they have the talent. There's no reason why they shouldn't be one of the top teams in the continent. Yes, the North Africans have got their act together, and I respect them for it. But there's no reason why Nigeria shouldn't be more of a force and consistently performing here in the region that they are. So for me, good result for them. I like what they did, and it's ultimately good for it's good overall. I like what how they performed there. I didn't. Let's have this therapy here. Can I have this therapy for Ghana? What are we doing?
Go
Ghana,
ahead.
what are we doing? What are we doing? And the thing is, like, it's Ghana loses to Angola, and again, Angola played their strategy well. They just soaked. There's a point where when you play with your food so much, when it drops on the floor, you can't be upset. And that to me was Ghana was they had good chances, but they just for whatever reason that final third. I jokingly say this, but I really am serious when I ask this. What did Inyaki do that like some when he's on the pitch, no one wants to really feed him unless they were the only time I saw him getting consistent ball playment was when we were up 1-0 on Niger. And then it was okay, we'll send you the ball into space and let you try to create if it's in a low block, and maybe that's more of the players that you have trying to break down. Ghana is always going to be facing a low block type of a team. That is the reality. And until they can show that they can create and punish teams for it, they're going to be in this type of situation where it's okay, they have the possession, they create chances, but at some point, chances are just chances. They're dreams. We need to make these dreams reality. And I think when it comes to Ghana, they've not been at this level for a while. And whenever I'm on your stream, JD, I always tell you, Ghana is like the 14th best team in the continent. They are exactly where they should be. There are some people who think they shouldn't be that low. Your performances will tell me where you should be. And when it comes to Ghana, their performances recently tell me they are at that level. They are top 15 in the continent, which isn't bad. The continent's gotten better, but they just haven't been able to put it all together, and it is frustrating. I it is frustrating, not because that there is talent there, but just because it just feels like it's wasteful. They don't have the urgency. To me, there it seems like a team that when they get back in the Ghana's airspace, all their problems are between the ears. It's not on their feet. It's their decision making off the ears. And I mean, yes, you try to clear a ball, you slip, the ball just hits Milson right in front of the goal, and he puts it away. And I'm like, I'm not can't even be mad at the player for that. I honestly laughed when Angola scored because at that point I'm like, of course it's gonna happen, right? And so rant, not even rant, just me blubbering on and talking here. Ghana, please do better. Please do better than this because I can't. You've humbled me enough, but honestly, at the same time, you are what I thought you were. So could you outperform my expectations for a change? Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to stop. I always have people who always message me and say, "Hey, remember when Ghana was good?" Yes, but that was 18 years ago. It's not the same players. We're not going to be the same thing. So I think ultimately for Ghana, it's a matter of just they need. GFA used to have a thing where he said, "Bring back the love." That goes both ways. They need to invest into it properly, but also for the players, that passion is gone. And I'm not always going to blame the players because when you get onto the pitch, there's a process between leaving your club, getting back home, and then getting ready to play. And that whole process, if you're telling me that a player, if Kudus can look like a world beater at West Ham, get him down here, and then it feels like he's running through mud, there's somewhere on that flight, something is happening, and that needs to be
Yeah, but
addressed.
I think you need to break down the team itself because I am looking at it. Sedo, Salisu, Lamte,
Mm,
Party, Kudos, Somenyo, Ayu at the start. We can just say Inaki Williams there.
mhm,
So Fatawu and Mumin with Owusu. Those
mhm,
are three players, and Ati in goal.
mhm.
Four players. You wouldn't say all of them are at the same level, but you still have enough pieces to say that even the complementary pieces should be carrying their weight. Would you not say that you have the squad to compete for a top 10 spot in Africa?
They have the talent to do it. I don't think they have the squad. I don't think the squad is at a and I will say that I don't think the squad is at a mature enough level to do so. Right? I have the lineup that they played against Angola here, right?
Yeah, let me go.
And
Yes, I was reading out Angola one, but you can
yeah.
go off the
So
next
like
one as well.
so for Ghana, you had Lamti Seydu as at your fullbacks. You have Salisu, you have Mumin, you have Uwusu Partey as your holdings. Kudus at the 10, Semenyel out wide, Fatawu out wide, and then Jordan
They
Ayew up
changed
top.
Inaki for Ayu, which I think was purposeful. You know,
It's purposeful because you're for how they are playing. The prob I have first of all, Jordan still thinks he's a nine, and good for the player. When you go to club and they say you're better off out wide, that says something. Now maybe that's either the manager or that's the player not realizing where he's best suited. I don't know if Jordan is best suited for nine in this role, especially when you look at the players that you have here, right? And my thing is this: Iñaki suits this lineup much better as the nine because between Fatawu, between Kudus, between Semenyo, that's pace, right? Uwusu can
hmm
push up sometimes. Partey can push up at sometimes, but then you have Lamptey coming up. We should note, right? This lineup. Newman is playing for Alexander Jiku, who was injured, who got a tweak before. So he's normally not starting in that position. Usually it'd be Jiku and Salisu, right? Aledu Seydu, who ends up scoring in the next game, he's in for Gideon Mensah, right? So those two players, those two yellows, aren't normally in your starting 11. So fine. You can say those two are coming off the bench. But based off the players that you have, Iñaki is a better suit for what they're trying to do in terms of the space,
yeah,
especially getting the ball, countering. The best they look is when they are playing in transition. And Iñaki is a much better player for that transition. Now, Jordan
so,
suits this team better if
okay.
they're trying to go low block, hold the ball, trying to find players, and I think that's what they were expecting here. But I don't think if you were trying to, in terms of the opportunities they were creating, you need a little bit more crisper players. And I think for players who are on the bench, players who aren't still here, I mean, I keep on talking about Kofi Trez if he's the thing that's going to unlock the whole system. But I mean, setback after setback. I'll wait for him to get on the pitch first before we say he will be the savior of this team. But like between
Mhm.
him and then between um, Mashiru, who came off the bench in this game, I think Uwusu isn't a bad midfielder, but I think the 4-2-3-1 is I think I'd rather go 4-3-3 with just Partey sitting in front of the two center backs and then pushing the two midfielders up. And in that case, that's where you put a Mashiru there with a Caduce. Then you have the other two, and then that way, instead of that 4-2-3-1, you're sitting more as a 4-3-3. And I think that suits them better in terms of the style that they want to play, especially if you want to go from transitioning or if you want to try to break down a low block where you have multiple players, because then once they face a set low block, it's passing, and it's very standstill. And so that's to me is where you insert that player there. That opens the door a little bit more for what you're
Yeah.
trying to do, because then all your attacking is basically coming down to your fullbacks, which
So,
means yeah.
so basically, what you saw in the Niger game, you believe it's going to be the repeat of that in the Sudan game coming up, and how confident are you that you could get something against Sudan?
I hate that I'm about to say this, JD, so I'm gonna say these words. The ball is round.
The
Um,
ball is round.
I can't believe I just no. Okay, all joking aside, I think they have a chance, but you're playing a team a who is playing defensively solidly, but also you're playing aside a coach who is very familiar with this entire team, right? He's entire with his entire pool, minus a few of the newer players. This coach, it was their former coach, so he's very familiar with them. So I think you need to push it and just say, okay, leave Thomas. I think you stay with a triangle back and then you try to push that pace and try to push the numbers forward to get the opportunity, because I think they can be had there. And then you hope that you're a little bit healthy in the next round. You hope Jiku comes back. You hope Gideon Mensah's back. And then it's a conversation of where can we find goals? Not shots on to the goalie. Can we find goals? Because there are goals in this. Um, there are goals in this team, but they just haven't been able to put it through. So to me, that's what I would switch. Hope for some health, but then push it in. I think they can beat Sudan, but at this point, the way that they're playing, they're going to lose 1-0 to Sudan in the 89th minute off of a goal, off of a weird sequence of play, because this is how Ghana is losing games these days. And that's just kind of how I see it.
Okay, okay, all right, fair enough. I've watched the games, and I want to say that it's taken a little time, but once you get over certain hump, then maybe results will be coming. I know that in no in this time and age, if it's not instant gratification, it doesn't really mean much, because in the details of the science, much people don't care about that. They just want the results now or you leave. So you don't even get the chance to truly fix your problem because of what the world is today. And sometimes we actually let go winning things just because of we want to appease to the public, you know. So based off what I thought I saw them having, I would say that I would give him 2 to 3 more games to see if he can stabilize the ship, because this qualifiers to the AFCON in DNA, yes, it's like a qualifier to AFCON. I think I think these are all usable for the World Cup qualifiers, just like Jamaica and Suriname and those teams in the CONCACAF region. It's a way to perfect your team for the World Cup qualifiers. So how important winning these games for you is.
Well, there's always two conversations with it, right? There is how important is it for the tournament and on the pitch itself, and then the greater
Mhm.
scheme of things, right? On the wider range, there are issues. I mean, I'm talking to someone who covers We understand that there is issues, there's corruption, there are problems there. Yes. And so in the back of my mind, I think if we if we just bottle this, will this change anything? For science purposes, of course. What if we just
Mhm.
bottle it? I don't want it to come to this, but in the same time, I'm like, if we just don't make AFCON and then it's a national disgrace, can we get rid of Kurt? Can that happen? I don't know. So there's that wider thing, but then I also have to think, okay, but then it looks a certain way on the pitch. I trust the coach. I trust Otoado as a coach, right? I don't trust necessarily all the players. And there's a degree where, like, again, like we had this conversation about Iñaki Williams on this team for since he got here, right? The man has better cardio than me because he makes runs, he runs the space, and he's fed once every blue moon. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
it's frustrating for a player who's like, okay, you see that? Like, I wonder what the I always just someone said that, and it's true. I wonder what their dinner conversation is like when he goes home after international break, and his brother's like, yeah, well, I pull out wide and they feed me and I create opportunities. And how's Ghana for you? And Inyaki's like, well, I run.
So the instant follow-up, guys, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Please do subscribe to the channel, share and hit the like button as you come in. Yeah, man, leave your thoughts. If you're not familiar with it, ask away questions and then we
Mm,
can patch you into it. So my follow-up question, because you know that this is a common thing, at least in the Jamaican little circle right there. Is it that because he wasn't really a individual that's from Ghana? Like directly from Ghana, or he spent time. I don't know if he was born in Spain or whatever the situation is, but I know that he was not in Ghana for the longest time. All right, at least for me. So you think that that have an impact to why they don't want to take him in and use him as the poster player?
I
Because I
look
got that feeling, like IU can play like until they're 595. You know?
Everyone knows how I feel about the AUs. Thank you for your service, boys. But like I think for them it's the role, and I think that's the frustrating thing. I think Jordan can have a specific role to me, and it depends on who you're playing, right? And I think there is a bit of a degree. I don't even think it's a conversation of is Iñaki going to be like the star boy of the team. No one is debating who the best player on the team is, right? It's Mohamed Kudus. He is the best player on the squad at this point. Partey is the bigger name, and you can argue if he's really the bigger name at this point. But Partey is the captain. Andre is being phased out, and Jordan is there because he's still a productive player at a high level. That's why he's still there. I don't mind that conversation. Is it? I want to say it this way. I don't know if there's necessarily a rift with the players. I and I don't want. I feel sometimes I watch the game and they are talented players. I don't know if they can read the game, especially some of the players on the pitch. They can read the game as well. They are talented, but I don't know if they can read the game as flowingly. And it's a bit harsh. But you look at how they play within the club system. It almost feels as if from club to national team, they're wearing two different hats. At club, they're given a role, right? Fatawu is a good
Hmm.
example of this, right? He's at Leicester, he's playing. No, Fatawu is at Lyon, which whatever. But when he's in that system, they're playing. He knows his role. He sits it. He plays it well. He doesn't try to do too much. Sometimes he'll do a little, here and it's there. Bring him to the national team. Every time he touches the ball, Kamaldeen is the same type of player, right? Kamaldeen Suleiman, every time he touches the ball as a national team player, he feels like he has to put on a show and score. And there are times it's like, no, just move the ball. The ball will move faster than all your dummies around the world. Just move the ball. Players will move
Can't
that.
tell them that, you know. It's not a,
And
maybe a Spanish player alone and some of those players, but these our brothers don't really their brain don't work like that, you know. Yes.
and like it's a harsh statement for me to say. I'm not saying that they are football illiterate, but I think sometimes they'll get the ball and they already know what they want to do versus reading what is happening. And like the
Yeah.
amount of times, like at some point, you have to feed the player doing. And what I love about, like, say, like Caduce is one who gets better at this, and Antoine Semenyo to me is a player who, at this point, he can do no wrong to me. He's always moving into space. He's moving. He's his head up is looking, being aware of what's going on around you. You need that. And sometimes the players on the pitch are just like, let me get the ball. This is my moment. This is my one shiny moment to do something. So I feel that when they read the game, they don't read it in terms of what is happening. They read it in terms of where is my opportunity. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily an Iñaki Williams problem per se. I think it could be sometimes more of a Black Stars issue where it's everyone is trying to create that moment, right? And maybe I'm misreading it, but when I watch it and I see movement, and it's not always Iñaki. Sometimes Kudus makes a run, no one does it, right? Sometimes when the game is simplified, their games look so much better, right? Fatawu scored a goal in World Cup qualifiers where his only option was you have to play the ball on frame, right? Someone sent him across and he ran through it. There was no one touch time. He just had to go put the ball on frame and he scored. And it's like, and people are like, oh, where was this been the whole time? It's like, well, it's been there. You just can't really work off of it because his options are always more. You give him more options, he tries to do too much. I feel sometimes you have to simplify the game for the players, and then that way they can sit, do, and suit for what they're trying to do.
All right. So because obviously we know we have limited time. Um, what would be a satisfied window for you? The next window, and then we
Ah,
can move into Nigeria, break it down, and see what would be a satisfied one.
for
You have
so
Sudan and you have Sudan and Sudan, right?
yeah, so
So
the Sudan
Sudan twice,
derby, yes, yes. They need 4 points.
four
They
points.
need 4 points. They at the very least they need four. Realistically, they
Okay.
need six. They should get six, but they need four. Um,
Just to make sure you can overtake Sudan pretty much because
yeah,
yeah, if okay.
because what is it? The group, group standings
Yes,
where they
three for
are
Sudan,
now.
six for Angola. So
Yeah,
4 points would put you 1 point over Sudan if Niger and even if Niger beats up Angola, I think that would be good for you. That just
yeah.
tells you, yeah. So 4 points. All right, nice.
I think yeah, 4 points means they're at five, and then Sudan's at four, and then they are fine
Yeah.
there. I think Ghana should be getting six based off of the paper. I don't know if the head will do anything, and maybe hey, they're playing their former coach. Maybe this is the thing that finally gets the fire going for them. They come out guns a blazing, and they're able to look good with it. But this is what I think they should do. Now, based off their pattern of play, they're going to get 2 points in the next window,
Two
right?
points. All right. And for Nigeria, as I just said, I saw some good things. I saw that they're using the three at the back. Three at the back kind of gave Bruno Bruno and Aina some leg room to do more.
Hmm.
And their midfield, I would want them to make one tweak, which is to not play two wingers with a striker, with so much of a four in midfield. I would want them to pack one more in midfield to make a cam to create for two strikers up front. So if you have to turn Lookman into a striker, you turn him into a striker with Boniface or Osimhen, and I think that would have been a much more dangerous one. Because what I've realized in Africa, it is not necessarily you're not better than the next team. The problem is once you give them space to play, it becomes much more normalized for them to counter you and take the ball away from you. So just go with five in midfield. So you saw in midfield you had NDD, and then they would have used an Iwobi, and that's how Iwobi could have actually come in to be some good use. So I will use NDD, Onyeka, and then Iwobi in the three there, Bruno and Aina wide, and you would use um, Ajayi and Bassi as the two wide centre backs them, and then the captain Marvelous right there, and then up front you use the two strikers. Lookman in a form of his life, so Lookman would have to play over Bassi or Osimhen. And I think you can really squeeze teams because now you're going to force them to make lengthy passes, and that's the one thing I've seen with majority of the smaller teams in AFCON
Hmm.
qualifiers. When you pressure them to make the longer passes, they can't do it because it takes quality ballers to perfect certain longer passes. So
Mm.
you need to force them. But you giving them space, they can play shorter passes through it. But stretch the congest the pitch and pressure them to make passes. And that's when I saw both Ghana and Nigeria looks good. And that's how Egypt, um, Morocco, all of those teams that are much more technical, that's how they approach games. Squeeze the life out of you. I press you. You have to learn to pass the ball to force the errors. So that's what I would like to see for Nigeria. And Nigeria, at this point, they have Libya and they have Libya again.
Yeah.
I expect, based on how Libya started, only got a point. I expect them. Libya is 117 and Nigeria is 39th rank in the world. Obviously, I know that ranking nowadays don't really count because you can get 56 players and it work in your favor. So for me, I would say 6 points, 4 points max, minimum 6 points. But I'm expecting 6 points from Nigeria. Because I think they are getting it, but maybe a few tweaks. They definitely look better than Ghana to me.
That's, I mean, I agree with it. They look better than them in that sense because I think they've. I mean, the problem with Ghana has been dominant, has been more so winning the possession and the passing. They just aren't finishing. If you want to boil it down to one thing, they just aren't finishing, and that's the
Hmm.
difference between them and the Nigeria. Nigeria have been finishing, and they just have not been. And I think that's
And
where the yeah.
are you saying just finishing? Because I believe that their recovery pace from Nigeria is better. The quality of the defenders them are better. The
Mhm.
creativity from in midfield, surprising actually better. Because the problem is, you have Kudos, which can go as a cam, or he can go out wide. Party should be the best out of everybody. But at this point, NDDR Party, I'm very sorry. It's not everybody will just pick Party.
It's not a party, JD. Don't worry, it's not a party.
I think a lot of people would say they will work with NDD over Party because availability, NDD is much more stable. NDD can play deeper line and he can create because he has been playing attacking midfielder
Yeah,
for Leicester. So he's showcasing his dynamic range. So but I still believe that Party should be the best defensive central out of both teams.
he
And
should
I'm
be.
not seeing it translated in the Ghana team, but yet still, I could see it for Arsenal. I could see for Arsenal, even when he's breaking up like glass. I can still see it.
I can't even be mad about those statements. It's true. It's true. It's when he the second he said it's no Thomas without the party. I was like, no, he's never been the same. He's just ankles gone, knees gone, consistency never a thing. It's been pain. But like I don't disagree with you. I think his consistency has been there. And in the midfield, the problem with like that is, I mean, switching to Ghana real quick. If you look at it, they're effectively playing three players who are strikers to me, but then they're in the wrong spots, right? If you're gonna play that type of a system, you should put Semenyo up top. You should leave Kudus in the middle and then put Jordan out wide. You shouldn't put Jordan in the up top because Semenyo is gonna want to drift into that space, even though he plays out wide for Bournemouth. Kudus is a cam, but I mean he's a modern cam, which is basically he's a midfielder who wants to. He's a second striker, is really what he is. And then Fatawu is a winger who thinks that he must be the next great winger hope. So he wants to play more like a nine sometimes and want to show off the style all the time. So give me a give me a that, which is why again give me a lineup where you have out wide. If you're gonna play those three or those four up top, give me a
Hmm.
lineup for Ghana which has Lamptey on one side and Gideon Mensah on the other side, so that there is service, so that those players say, if you want the ball, either come to hit the out wide or get in the box. Because once they do that, doors open, opportunities are there, and I think that opens it up for them. But as we're talking, we're only 2 games into. Let's kind of look at where the groups are. And some of them are not as surprising, but some of them are interesting to look at. I mean, Group A, Tunisia looks like they're running away with this. The second place side is wide open because no one has won against each other except for Tunisia. I still kind of see Tunisia taking that. Comoros or Gambia. This I jokingly say Group A is Ghana's thorns. They just have beaten them recently, but I need more from Gambia in that group. Gambia, I think they can get it done, but I need more from Gambia to get to that top two spot to move on. But Tunisia doing Tunisia things is not a surprise. Not as much on the goal levels, but they're getting the results, and that's all that you can really. You can't fault them for anything else there. How do you still see it going chalk in terms of teams? Tunisia going up top. You still think Gambia can turn it around here and get up, or do you think they are going to start fading away here?
Gambia, they might pull a one or two wins along the way, but Gambia project have actually slowed down. A lot of
Mm,
their players are doing well in Europe, but it's not translating back to um, Gambia. So I'm going to watch and see. But they have the capability if they do pick their squad right, because for some reason they're sticking with the 24 or the 22 to 20, no, the 23 to 20, 30 years olds. I'm not trying to tap into the good group of 20 under U20s. You
yeah,
know, that is my biggest problem because some of them doing well worldwide, but yet still not getting the call that they need. So maybe Gambia they have to lose first before they decide that they're going to go that route. So let we see how it works out for them. But for now, I think it's going to be a one or two wins, and maybe they can come back over Camaros right there. Maybe because one or two wins take them over them.
no,
It's just
that's true.
Tunisia will be the battle, the battle hard in one. To be honest, with the experience and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
No, I agree. I'm hoping Gambia can pull it out, but I think Comoros being where they are because no one's won anything. It literally might just be whoever can finally beat each other who's not Tunisia. And I think that will be where it gets a little interesting and fascinating. Group B, Morocco up again, no losses.
Come
Gabon
on,
and Central African,
Africa. Yeah.
and then Lesotho out there. Gabon, look, Obama, look, sir, you play for country, sir, and I respect you for it. He's renaissance of that man.
He had a
He
beautiful season last season as well. So he's playing football back again. It looked like it was some club holding him back. Back again, you know?
some club. We won't say any names, but let's just
Yes,
say their
no
name.
name, no name, no name,
Yes,
no.
let's just say it rhymes with Arsenal. But yeah, but just some club was holding him back. But yeah, I think for where they are, he's doing well to keep them going. But that their next matchup with Central African Republic, I think that decides who goes through because I don't think Lesotho is gonna really pose any type of a threat in this group. I could be
Yeah.
wrong, but I think that
Lesotho came alive when they had Nigeria. But
mm,
all teams came alive at that time when they were playing Nigeria. They say, okay, flick three wide because the keeper we have no keeper in the goal. So flick three
still
wide and just get your head to it. No, man. No, I would say that the keeper is pretty much solid now than before. Because remember, it's the same keeper. They are using through the AFCON, and
yes,
he was. I thought he was robbed of the best keeper. To be honest, they gave it to South Africa keeper. Remember?
yeah. I think South
Yeah. So
African keepers just had more saves,
well,
but
well, well. One went further. One beat one to go to the finals. So that should have given him the award.
we're
But the fraudery. Let me continue. Let me continue
I'm
because
not
I'm
gonna
not
start
going
with this. Listen. We're not gonna talk about Nigeria's run of. They can't keep getting away with this. They can't keep
Yes,
getting away with
all
this.
right.
With this
But he was a
dodginess.
part of playing good to keep them going. They can't keep them going. Yeah, 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 yeah.
It,
So
but
let's
yes,
sort of let's sort of. I'm going to say that Gabon, exactly how it looks now. That's what will take place. Gabon will finish second, um, and Morocco will beat up in the group. Morocco will beat every team here.
and I think that's a fair reality of it. I think Gabon Aubameyang's playing well. I don't think that slows down. You can play well and not being in the Premier League. And just earth to everyone else. The prem isn't where all the good players are. There are good players everywhere else.
That's
Group
that's facts.
Group C, Egypt on top with all the goals. Capo Verde, Mauritania, and then Botswana. A little disappointed with Botswana. I thought they were gonna maybe start to pull some results here, but I think my don't sleep on team of 2021 is are still kind of awake still, but they're still asleep. But I think it's Capo Verde who gets it done with Egypt moving forward. Do you still see it that way as well, or do you think perhaps the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
time
Cape Verde, Cape Verde,
yeah.
they're on a patch now, and the football they play is very good. A strong physical team in Africa. This is what I wanted Nigeria and Ghana to be playing that style of
Mhm.
football. So what they're doing, even though they don't have the talent as both, it kind of maximize their actual ability. So they're peaking right there, and I don't think they can go further over that. But I think this will be good enough for them to qualify again.
I think so as well. So I think Egypt and Cap Verde will get it done. Mauritania, though, we'll see. They did get a win, but Botswana is alive and working. So we'll see how that goes. Um, Group D, Nigeria, the counting group, 4-3-2-1. Benin in second, Rwanda in third, and then Libya in fourth. Rwanda withdraws against Nigeria and Libya.
Mhm.
That matchup with Benin, Rwanda is my new don't sleep on team, JD, because
Yes, I think you have something. Maybe you're just making up sleeping on teams, but I think Rwanda will beat Benin, especially
melatonin
at
is
home.
alive and working. It's lovely.
Especially at home, it's going to be very hard for Benin to win that game.
Mm,
Rwanda at home, their fans, their stadium is like ridiculous.
mhm.
So yeah, yeah, you're gonna get five bicycle kicking outside, and referee won't call it. Not
And and bicycles as well. Though. You'll just find a bicycle in the corner. You'll be like, why do I need this? So I need the brakes, but not the tire. But no, honestly,
yes,
I like
Rwanda going through for
Rwanda
me.
are going through, and then remember Rwanda and Nigeria are in the same World Cup qualifying group as well. So I think it's a
Yes,
good. So they are measuring themselves against them and thinking we're getting draws, but can we be ambitious and maybe push for a win at some point? I think Rwanda gets through. I've been high on Rwanda since everything started, so I'm gonna stay high on them as well. So there we go. Libya is just a solid side that just always they just get done by they just get done up by the groups that they're in. Because I think in another if Libya's in group A, I think they might get out of that and go to the World Cup. But they're in this group and Benin and Rwanda are saying we want to fly too. So that's unfortunate for them, kind of where it sits. Group E, Algeria, Togo, Equatorial Guinea, Liberia. This was supposed to be Algeria and Equatorial Guinea, and then the players, so the rules that were rules and aren't rules. Equatorial Guinea, I think, should still be able to squeak their way out of this group. But man, Togo, just get a win. A Togo win pretty much ends this for me. But Algeria
okay.
doing Algeria things. But Equatorial Guinea, the, guys, figure out what the rules of eligibility are, please, because you have basically stealing hope from a country with one swoop, and it is terrible. But yeah, I have Algeria and Equatorial Guinea squeezing through. Who do you have going in Group E?
I will still say Equatorial Guinea, just the same. With Algeria winning, Algeria is back. Yeah.
Well, they never left. They've just been inconsistent.
No, we're terrible in the Afghan, man. Believe me, terrible. Just a bunch of pretty passes and a few injuries were there, so I can't really complain.
They-
Yeah. So
Man, I will say this with them at AFCON. They to me are the ultimate they are actually I'll say this. They are the women France of the African game. They look good for a half sometimes, and then for whatever reason,
and
you
it
play
fade. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they just fade. And you're just like, why? Pile it on. And then they're like, and the next thing you know, it's 3-3, and you're like, oh, this is a this why is this happening? There's no for the talent and how they play, they shouldn't be turning off. But I think that's between the years. So maybe the injection of some new players gets them to over the line, but they are a side that for whatever reason I will watch them, and then it feels like 60 minutes in, they turn off the engine and it's just rolling in the highway. You're like, why are we doing this? But hey, it's frustrating. Also, shout out to Mo Farsi, got his cap. Could have represented Canada, but is going to Algeria. Good assist there. Good for him. Always have to shout that out because wonderful. We talked about Ghana Group F. Angola's up top with 6. Sudan beat Angola. Ghana drew Niger, which is why
Ghana
hopefully
1 point. Yeah, Ghana a
that's why
point.
yeah, that's because Niger drew them. And so
Yes, we know, we know. We just talked the entire show about it, but we're just saying Ghana a point. So, are
yeah,
you confident, Africans, that
I want this chaos, Jason.
Ghana will be coming first in this group?
I'm no, I'm confident they won't. I'm confident they won't. Ah,
I
they will.
say, I
They
say Ghana still comes first.
I think they go
Yes,
second.
I think they're gonna beat Angola in the second leg, right?
You're asking this Ghana team to do something they haven't done in a while, which is
Yes,
put
they're
together
gonna.
3 straight games of quality, not
Yes, three
let
straight
alone
great games.
4, let alone
Yes,
4,
yes,
3.
yes, yes, yes. I think this window they're gonna get 6 points, and after uh, Angola will draw one of their games. So that's what I'm saying. Ooh. So a draw when Nigeria beat them. Nigeria have to win every single game. All right, it's gonna be tough, but I'm saying a battle to the final game to see if Nigeria Ghana comes first.
Ghana's not finishing first in this group.
All
Okay,
right,
they're
it's
finishing
looking tough
second.
for you. It's looking tough
I
for
am
you.
I'm looking at this very objectively. They have the talent to finish first. I don't know if between the ears they're going to be there. We'll see. We'll see how they look against Sudan. And the Sudan's going to be the okay. You let go of the coach. The coach will have something to play for. So the Sudanese will have something to play for. Will Ghana have something to match that? Because if they match the intensity, their talent should be superior. But if they don't match the intensity, like we I will be watching AFCON with Ghana players at home on my TV. Like we will both be doing the same thing. And so if they can get that fixed, they look good. If not, I mean, they've not given me anything that says that they can consistently put together 2 solid performances in a row, let alone 3. So that's why I said 4 is what would be ideal. Perfect would be 6. What I expect is 2 because I expect them to draw Sudan twice, and that's
All
kind of
right,
how.
all right.
At some point, you are what you are, and you have to show me that you're not that. And they
Okay.
are what they are. They deserve to be where they're at. Group G, the defending AFCON winners, still up, haven't lost. Kud Bakto for you guys. Zambia in second, Sierra Leone and Chad in third.
I think they win that group easily,
Oh, I think so as well. I
and Zambia will come second as well.
Yes, Zambia. So when Ghana somehow makes it to AFCON and they'll lose to Zambia there because tradition on the women's side and the men's side. I haven't mapped out. I know how it ends. Okay,
All right, all
Hey,
right, all right.
it ends with
Well,
me. I'll send you a message and be like, "I told you this would happen. I didn't want it, but I said it would." All
we're
right.
we're keeping the files. Don't worry.
No, don't worry. They can keep the file. Clip me. I'm right here. Princeton, big up, guys. Everyone who was here, bless up to you. I know I haven't gone through all the comments. Omar Fallon, you're in the house. DNA Football, I see you out there. Kevin Jones, Ronaldo. Guys, thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, yeah. We be
Well, we
passed through.
we've been talking because I've been venting. This is really my therapy session, guys, and I thank you for coming to it for free. Next time I'll charge admission for it, but we will kind of look at it as it goes. But I think it'll be those two as well. Group H, DR Congo hasn't lost. Tanzania, Ethiopia, Guinea. It's DR Congo. DR Congo is definitely taking this group. The question is, do I trust Tanzania to get a few more results, or does the homegrown of Ethiopia or the
Guinea,
potential of the
Guinea will
Guinea?
cause some problems. Guinea will cause some problems in this group.
Mm,
Ethiopia might still continue to fall. I
I
think
think
Guinea games are very good. Like the best, they are consistent, I should say. And
mm,
I think they continue with that, they can upset people.
I do tend to agree with that. I think Guinea's gonna affect who finishes in second because I think on their good day they can play well, but if they don't, they can have those issues. Group I, Mozambique, Mali,
Mali,
Guinea-Bissau. Yeah, Mali should be topping this group, but hey, they got the draw against Mozambique. Mozambique, Yeah, hey, say what you want about them. Say that they're not a big of a side. Listen, JD, after you beat Ghana, your life changes. After you draw them, you see stars. You
Well, I'm
see what
going
you
with
could be.
Guinea-Bissau and Mali. And
Yes,
Mozambique not qualifying.
I do agree. Ooh, I think Mozambique
Yeah.
qualifies. I think
Well,
Mozambique
well, well, well,
and Mali
well,
go.
don't worry yourself. Click that. Because, yeah, don't put them on. Don't put them as your easy team to go through. It's not. I mean, they're dropping our points next window.
No, that's
Ready
fine.
and wait. Yeah,
And
they're
Omar,
going
I've been
straight down.
prepared for this. Omar, I've been prepared for this. Okay, I have been prepared for this since even before. So we're good. We are good. Don't worry. I am mentally prepared. Kenya, Nelson is thrilled. Co-hosts out here saying we're making it Cameroon, Zimbabwe, and Namibia. Hey, the Kenyans finally getting it back after controversial reasons, getting banned coming back. I think Cameroon takes it because you have
Yes.
what's his name? What's his name? Cameroonian striker. Always your favorite baller from
Oh, yeah.
2018. Yeah,
Yeah.
your favorite baller for 2018.
No, no, no. He's not my favorite baller for 2018. That is the new Cristiano Ronaldo. What are you talking about? Yeah. Oh my God. He was scored. I think Abu Bakar, he
Yeah,
scored again. He was the scorer. How old is this man? This man look like he's 75 when he's 25 because he's 32 now, and I thought he was 37 2018.
yeah.
This is the first
Vincent
man age.
Abubakar. Look at this. This man is just living his best life.
I swore this man was um 37 and 2018, and so he's clutching up 45, 46 now. Sorry, my maths, but good God.
Well, apparently he's only 32. To which I
I
say
can't believe that.
no.
Last
I
World Cup, the man looked like he was done. Like he ran for 25 years
he looked like
consecutive.
I'm
And he was
sorry.
25 at the start of the race 25 years ago. So,
He looked like he used to play pick keep ups with Roger Mila at that last World
yes,
Cup. That's what he
oh
looked
my
like.
God. He's old. Yeah, oh my God. And, yeah, Abu Bakar is very old.
That he is.
Incredible old. Yeah.
But I think Cameroon gets it done, and I think that's where I think Cameroon and Kenya get it done. I like what I've seen from Kenya games, and for Kenya, it's get the results, just get the results and move, and they've been able to do that. So, winning against Namibia, a draw versus Zimbabwe, I think if they can get a draw against Cameroon, I think they are definitely going through, and they're a side I think they will be fine with that. But Kenya is
Yeah, they ain't getting no draw against Cameroon. Cameroon beating everybody up to this. You know?
let them have hope. Let them
Yeah.
ah let them have hope, JD. Let them dream.
I'm just telling you what will happen, what I think will happen. Yes, what I think will happen. So,
That's fair. No,
four
that's
points in
fair.
the last window.
Yep.
Um, they're beating Kenya both times.
Mm,
Yes, by
I
2 goals.
I think they can get. I think they can get. I think a 4 point window against Kenya is what I expect from
Stop
Cameroon. I
trying
think
to take away a 6 point window.
it
It
doesn't.
will be.
JD, it doesn't lose me any sleep. I'm just saying. I think the Kenyans can get. I think they can get a draw.
We
I
have
think
the
they
we
can
have
get
the
a draw.
big bad Onana in goal. We have
But
Abubakar,
but you have
Cristiano
Onana in
Ronaldo,
goal,
Africa.
JD. So they
Yes.
will look. Someone will look like a world class striker at some point. Come on, you have Onana in goal.
All
These
right,
are the
and
rules.
I'm gonna give it that. I'm gonna give it. It might messed up some way along the line. Yeah. All right, and that's it.
And then you have
Uh,
Uganda, South Africa,
Uganda,
Congo, Sudan. South Sudan.
Uganda, South
Yeah,
Africa, Congo, South Sudan,
yeah,
and at this side is Uganda in first place. I'm
yep.
still sticking with Congo and South Africa. South
Interesting.
Africa does well with their homegrown players.
Yes,
Mr. Spade, I'm not giving no idea because Jamaica players ain't good. Yes.
you need a good
South
league.
Africa players are
You need
actually
a
good.
good league first. Let's
Yes,
start
they
that.
need a good league. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So there's that. And then yeah, I think Uganda coming up. I think the Cranes will. I think it goes I think South Africa and Uganda go through, but I think South Africa goes up top, and then Uganda outlasts Congo. So I have South Africa in first and Uganda in second. I think
Okay.
Congo. I think that's kind of where it goes. So we'll kind of see how it is. And then Burkina Faso, Senegal, Burundi, and then Malawi. As long as the refs aren't stealing penalties from Sadio, we'll be good. But I don't. Burundi over Malawi is what it is. I think it's Senegal and Burkina Faso, and that's what it is. All the
Yes.
Traorés
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
through. Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. Burkina Faso second. Senegal first.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of where it is. So yeah, we'll revisit
Yep.
this after the next window. I know we have CONCACAF Nations Leagues which are happening, and then we'll look at that as well. But maybe we'll talk about CONCACAF Nations Leagues on Thursday to
Yes.
kind of
Yes. We
see,
can
and
do.
then
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Can do that one for Thursday, and maybe some other news back with that as well. But we are
indeed.
back, people, and it's going to be on both channels because I want to. No, maybe not both channels, but I will have a new series coming. I've just not written it up as yet, and then me and Africans can sign off on it because you have to let him sign it, people. You understand me? Yes. Give me his word. You know, he can't just turn up whenever he wants. Yes.
Uh,
So,
I don't know what you're talking about there, but I'm sure I consistently show up inconsistently.
well,
So
you're doing good. I appreciate for the last. I appreciate it for the last 4 times. You have said something, and it looks like it was me not turning up, but people not because I have bad behavior, because you know me,
no,
I'm always available. Because I was a little bit sick, and
hey,
I'm on the back end of the sickness now, so I will be back. Yeah, because you can't do Jamaican videos if you're not 95% all right. Makes no logical sense because you might leave your body right there, you know? Yes. Or they might threaten you to kill you.
you never know, like,
You
one way or
never
the other.
you never know. You will die some way.
What a morbid way to end this stream.
Yes, yes.
Um, but no, AFCON qualifiers are looking good, guys. On Thursday, we'll talk about everything that happened in CONCACAF Nations League, but then also
Yeah.
talk about some of the friendlies that
The
happened.
friendlies as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
US as a new coach, Canada.
Can we say that Canada is the big dogs of CONCACAF, you know? For
Uh,
5 years now, Africans tried to evade that conversation,
we still
but they
aren't.
kept getting results.
Here's a preview. We don't have a trophy yet, so I won't say that we are. That's my preview. But I've said that, and we've said that I said that with on the rise on Tuesday, and that was basically it. I think until we get a trophy, we aren't. I'm not going to call us
Well,
that. But we'll go into
I
that
am.
in more depth
Well,
on
no,
Thursday.
yes, we will. So make sure you study for your excuse. All right, Yeah. People, smash
Excuse.
the like button, smash the like button, and make sure to see us back in the week. We will have video running, and it's going to be a lot of different videos. So please, if you're Jamaican fans, watch something else. It might help your life. If you are the normal subscribers, watch anything else. It might help your life. We are going to bring back the fun in the football, break it down. All right. So thanks for another great one. And I'm almost close to full health. I will
Almost.
be running up my stairs 2 days time.
Stairmaster.
Steroids, man. What?
I said Stairmaster, not Steroid Master. Stairmaster. Hey, don't be confused. Just because we have time zone difference. Ah.
All right. Yes.
All right, guys. Thank you again. Until Thursday. We'll see you guys then. Until next time. Bye bye for now.